Shalom. First and foremost, want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS that rule well. Peace, love, and salutations to all the brothers out there pushing His word in sincerity and in truth. Shalom to the brothers, sisters, and children out there keeping His word in sincerity and in truth. Okay, real quick, I wanted to go into this lesson. I was listening to the brother GMS Memphis, Nabah, his video that he was just doing, and going into how, these ICE agents are coming down, just various videos of them coming down like mad men, sparing none, as the scriptures say, that they that Esau, that's how he gonna roll in these last days. So I went on Google and typed in ICE agents, mostly white men. And this is this is what it said. It says, while white individuals are the largest single demographic group within U.S., which is ICE, Latinos make up a significant portion of its agents, and overall the agency is relatively diverse compared to other federal law enforcement bodies. Now it says the gender, which we know it's going to be men, is mainly men. The race, this is what we wanted. It says, as of recent publicly available data, the demographic breakdown for DHS, the parent agency of ICE, shows that white, non-Hispanic, or Latino employees constitute about 51.7% of the total workforce. So they're already letting you know with just the available data that they're willing to tell you that over half of its agents are Edomites. And that's not even to consider the confusion of faces, because just like you might have Israelites that look like the other nations, you got Edomites that look like the other nations too. You got Edomites that look like Jake, because you got Edomites that get with Israelite women as well. So the possibilities are, it's never going to be a true number. So I believe that the number is even significantly higher. But they do attribute some of the tribes as part of the agents, which you say Hispanic or Latino employees make up a substantial 22.8% of the total DHS workforce, and specifically around 24 to 30% of ICE agents, which they're going to, again, you got confusion of faces. Some of these people, they're going off of face value, or they're going off of what you put down that you are. They ain't going off of true genealogy, how things was created to be. So I believe this number is significantly lower, and the number for Edomites is significantly higher. True Edomites. And of course, they say black or African American employees account for 16.7%. Asian employees are 6.3%. Now, additional context, it says Latino representation. The portion of Latino agents in ICE is notably high, a topic that has been studied by researchers to understand the motivations for individuals from these communities to work for ICE agencies, which, it is Israelites in it. I won't deny that, it is Israelites in it, and it is Northern Kingdom in it, which makes absolutely no sense, but it's nothing new, because you've had various situations where you had Jake, Northern Kingdom, Southern Kingdom, it don't matter, work for the enemy to oppress their own people, and then the enemy turn on them. That we've seen that during the Southern Kingdom slavery, when we was brought over here as slaves, and we, of course they gonna say black slavery or whatever, had the worst amount of slavery. You got all your the coons and all the different various names that they've associated with Jake that sided with Esau in our worst time ever, as far as, slavery or something. But then you got the Northern Kingdom too, with like Gad, so-called Native Americans. You had a lot of Gadites that was willing to work with Esau to turn on our own people, turn on their own tribes and communities to be brought down, thinking that the Edomites wasn't going to touch them, and then the Edomites got them too. And you got this with the Northern Kingdom as well. I mean, with the so-called Hispanic or Latino tribes as well. Then it says recruitment, which ICE has undertaken aggressive and large-scale recruitment campaigns, sometimes drawing criticism for using imagery or methods that some experts have linked to white nationalist myths, which is not a myth. They're basically, Esau is trying to tell you, look, here's your opportunity to oppress your brother. You know, this is your opportunity to get at the tribes, to get at the Israelites, and we won't punish you for your actions. The agency actively recruits diverse candidates and highlights women in law enforcement through initiatives like ICE Women Work. And what is that? ICE Women Work. You know, because all the videos we see men running on the people. We don't ever see no woman, you know, in an ICE uniform. You barely see women on law enforcement on regular, you know, the state police or local police. You rarely see women. It's mainly men. So what is ICE women work? Were they the ones sitting behind the desk? Because we don't see them. And then it says racial profiling concerns. Despite the agency's internal diverse, ICE and other immigration or ICE agencies have faced persistent accusations and lawsuits regarding racial profiling in their enforcement operations, with civil rights advocates arguing that Mexican appearance or a person's language can be a factor, even if not the sole factor, in an agent's decision to stop someone. The agency officially denies these claims, of course, stating the enforcement operations are highly targeted based on the individual's immigration status, not race or ethnicity. But with with ICE specifically targeting the Northern Kingdom, and even more so the Latin tribes, you know, Hispanic and Latin tribes, you can't just be realistic. What Israelite in their right mind is going to go towards the enemy to work for them when they know that they're a target? Even if they are legit, they're still being targeted, you know? So why would you offer yourself up for something like that? Then if they detain you or whatever the case may be, now it's foolish, you know? But let me get a few scriptures. Matter of fact, let me get this verse. Because Jacob's trouble ain't just talking about the southern kingdom. I ain't gonna get 26. Jacob's trouble ain't just talking about the southern kingdom. This is for the whole 12 tribes. Alas, Jeremiah 30:7, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even a time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Because right now, the northern kingdom is really being targeted by these agents. But the elect of the northern kingdom, which we all gonna, you know, I say northern kingdom, southern kingdom, because, you know, that's how we associate with them. But really, we're just one people. You know, we are the Israelites. But they're targeting the northern kingdom and more specifically, the Hispanic and Latin tribes. But the elect out of those tribes will be delivered. But eventually, it's going to be a targeting for the entire nation, entire 12 tribes. And the elect will be delivered out of all of this. So now let me get this precept. In 2nd Esdras, I think it's 16. Yeah, 2nd Esdras 16 started at 70. For there should be in every city and in every in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua, going into the Israelites. They should be like madmen, meaning the enemy, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. So this bad man sparing none is talking about the enemies, these Edomites, because the time of Jacob's trouble is the time where Esau get his last chance to unleash his wrath upon our people. But still spoiling and destroying those that fear Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua, ultimately the nation, you know. I was just thinking about getting something else. Let me see. I had thought about another precept. So Rachel putting those that fear the Lord. They should be like madmen, sparing none, but still. I had a precept in my mind, and I had read the title of the videos that the brothers was uploading, and I forgot it. But like I was saying, I just keep reading. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Is this not what Esau is doing? I remember it now. Is this not what Esau is doing to the northern kingdom? And they're talking about going door to door. Let's get that real quick. Which I think I clicked on this already. It says ICE enforcement ramp up has just only begun. Vice President Vance promises. I just want to get the main point. It says, speaking on a January 7th Fox News broadcast, Vice President J.D. Vance said ICE will be going door to door in the coming months as agents carry out President Donald Trump's plan for the largest mass deportation in history. Federal officials say they've now got about 22,000 agents and investigators, up from 10,000 a year ago. So they're telling you, door to door, ICE shooters. Let's see. Say anything else about it? Here we go. 2,000 federal agents sent to Minneapolis area to carry out largest immigration operation ever. Let's see. This is Facebook. Somebody said the 50501. If ICE comes to your door, stay calm. Do not open the door and ask to see a judicial warrant signed by a judge sliding it under the door for inspection. You have the right to remain silent and refuse entry without a warrant, and you should not sign any documents without a lawyer, but remain polite and assert your rights to avoid confrontation. If the door is closed, house versus apartment complexes, how does one manage to slide paper under it? This seems particularly puzzling in houses equipped with both a storm door and a thick wooden or metal front door, at least in the colder states. Do some houses typically have a significant gap? Okay. Which makes sense. You see, and look at it, all these are one day ago. What should I do if ICE shows up in my door? So I'm from Puerto Rico. I moved here about 5 years ago. My family lives about 5 minutes from the place I'm renting, and I'm worried about them too. We all moved here from Puerto Rico. I know we're technically Americans, but I don't think they care at this point. We live in a small city a couple hours from the Twin Cities. Any advice would be greatly appreciated. They say, I don't think you have to open the door. They'll need a real warrant, which they normally don't have. I don't know where you live, but I consider calling your local cops if ICE shows up. Let them deal with it. Which, it says you are not technically a citizen. You are a citizen. The U.S. takes poor care of its territories. Don't let them make you feel like you are less because of that. We are lucky PR is part of the U.S. Puerto Rico. I have no answers other than don't open the door. But at this point, they'll kick your door in. Right. So, you see all these things are recent, This is, Native American Rights Fund, resources for individuals and nonprofits approached by ICE. And they all saying, don't open the door. It said ICE can enter in a public space of any workplace without any type of warrant. Which we ain't concerned about all of that. Know your rights and everything like that. Because all these things are supposed to happen. And then, like I said too, back in Jeremiah 30, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he should be saved out of it. The Lord already told us how to handle these situations. You know, this let me get a few more. This is it. Yeah, Matthew 10. Matter of fact, I get it in Mark. I like how it's worded. This is Mark 13. I started 5. And Yahweh answered, saying unto them, take heed lest any man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am the Hamashiach, and shall deceive many. So this is lining up right with Matthew 24. And when ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, be not troubled, for such things must needs, but the end shall not be yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. We seeing that now. And there shall be earthquakes in divers places, and there shall be famines and troubles. These are the beginnings of sorrows. All right. But take no heed. I'm gonna read this in AMP. But be on your guard. They will turn you, but they will turn you over to courts, and you will be beaten in synagogues, and you will stand as accused before governors and kings for my sake, as a testimony to them. Which this happened for the apostles and disciples back during the time of ancient Rome, and it's gonna happen again. The gospel, that is the good news regarding the way of salvation, must first be preached to all the nations in the KJV. The gospel must first be published among all nations. And Gentile is not. It's going to be preached into all four corners of the earth, but it's only for the Israelites. When they this is the point, verse 11. When they take you and turn you over to the court, do not worry beforehand about what to say, but say whatever is given to you by the Most High in that hour. But it is not you who speak, but it is the Holy Spirit who will speak through you. So, see, the Lord already let us know, like, some of you gonna be captured and taken before court, to be processed for the things that you believe and what you've been saying and your actions. And don't worry about what you got to say. Don't worry about how you're going to respond to this. The Lord is going to be with you. He's going to give you He's going to speak for you through the Holy Spirit, Now, let me get this last precept. It's Revelation chapter 12. And 12. And I'm going to get it in AMP. Therefore rejoice, O heavens, and you who dwell in them, in the presence of the Most High. Woe to the earth and to the sea, because the devil has come down to you in great wrath. Selling at Walmart. I'm going to look into that. Woe to the earth and the sea, because the devil has come down to you in great wrath, knowing that he has only a short time remaining. Right. So with him knowing that he only got a short time, read the next verse. And the woman saw and the dragon saw that he was cast down to the earth. He persecuted the woman who had given birth to the male child. That's talking about the nation of Israel. The male child is going into Yahweh Shai. This is all symbolically speaking. The nation of Israel, Yahweh Shai came through the tribe of Judah, So Esau is and a woman is representation of the nation, the whole nation. So Esau is coming against the entire nation, He's coming against all of us. And he ain't just right now, he ain't looking for those that believes. He's targeting, of course, the northern kingdom, but eventually it's going to be the entire nation. So we seeing different prophecies come to pass as we speak. And as you seen back on when we was on Reddit, you got the northern kingdom of, they worried. See, they saying, what are my rights? This was 22 hours ago. What should I do if ICE shows up at my door? The Northern Kingdom, they worried. And this was the one that said he was, he was Puerto Rican. Him and his family. He worried about, what's going to happen. And they talking about, know your rights. You don't think all the the ones they snatched up, every single last one of them wasn't illegal that they snatched up. So knowing your rights ain't going to save you. And that's what these scriptures say. You ain't going to find nowhere in the scriptures where the Lord said, when they come against you, know your rights. That ain't what's going to save you. So we see just how it's trouble. And it's causing panic and distress upon the tribes already, but it's going to intensify. It's going to keep intensifying. The Lord wills an edifying lesson. And on that note, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS that rule well. Peace, love, and salutations to all the brothers out there pushing his word of sincerity and the truth. Shalom to the brothers, sisters, and children that they're keeping his word of sincerity and the truth. And until next time, shalom.